What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. So, I was working on doing a top 5 list of every character in the Illuminati in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I got a little sidetracked and stopped one short. So today we're going to finish it off with doing a top 5 list of Captain Carter. She's a really awesome character, so without further ado, let's get to the list. Alright, so starting us off at number 5 on this list, we've got the common Captain Carter from the Disney Plus set. Just your basic average stand in there with her shield up kind of pose. Now this one comes in at 115 or 45 points. And she has an optional plus 5 points trait where she can just start the game equipped with her own shield. And we'll just take a quick look at that. Here's the object. Very nice looking little shield object. And the object itself actually gives you defend, and if this character can already use defend, adjacent friendly characters modify defense +1, so not too bad. And she starts with a special defense power that gives her defend, toughness, and willpower, so not bad. And then you can take a look at her dial there, 115 points or 120 if you're starting with the shield, 10 movement charge, 11 attack, 18 with that defend, toughness, willpower special, 4 damage with leadership, 5 range, double target, shield team ability. So, you know, not too bad. She can help out the team with the leadership and the shield TA, and especially the defend with the +1, so everybody next to her will be 19 defense. And, you know, she's a decent attacker with charge, 11 attack, 4 damage. She can make range attacks. But for 120 points, it's a bit much. I mean, a pretty long 9-click dial there. Lots of damage reducers. And the willpower does help keep her moving around, too. But for 45 or 50 points, if you're equipping the shield, you know, you get fairly similar stuff there, but you got 8 movement charge, 10 attack, 18 with invincible, and 3 damage with leadership. And then with the shield, you'll also get the defend as well, so defending everybody up to an 18 is not bad. Then she's got a lot of flurry and empower on her last few clicks. You know, she's not bad. She's nothing crazy. She's just a common from the set anyway. She's definitely a fun figure, especially if you're a fan of the character and you don't have any other versions of her. She'll definitely, you know, suffice if you want to just throw her on her team and have fun. She's pretty good in sealed. But yeah, she's definitely not meta or anything. So nothing too crazy, just a kind of fun little power common character. So for those reasons, she's coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the same sculpt from the same set, obviously, Disney Plus. Now this one actually is coming out of the starter set, not the main set. So you only get this one if you buy the starter set, the mini game, I should say. Now this one, main reason it's coming in at number 4 is because it has 2 different dials, so 2 ways you can play. It's kind of like having 2 in 1. I was thinking about almost putting, you know, one of these at number 5 and one of these at number 4 or something like that, but nah, I just decided to count them as the same figure. So for 30 points, the A dial gets you charge, 11 attack, 17 defense, and leadership. So you get a little secondary close attacker kind of thing, and you get some leadership, which is always good. 30 points is pretty much nothing, so that's great. Leadership is always nice to have if you don't really have any other options. You know, you can throw her on a team to get you some leadership. 40-point dial, though, is actually pretty nice. She does have charge and flurry as her special movement power. So you got charge, flurry, 11 attack, 3 damage, with toughness with an 18 defense, and the leadership as well. So that 10 points really went a long way for this one. You got flurry with the charge, you got +1 defense and toughness, and you got to keep your 3 damage leadership. And now one weird thing here is one of these says 6 range double target, one of these says 4 range double target. One of those is an error. Her actual dial says 6 range double target. So I would go off of the dial. I forget, I'm pretty sure somewhere they errated that. I think the dial is usually what you want to go off of. And then on her last few clicks there also, I want to point out Flurry with a 12 attack and close combat expert. So that's 13 attack, 4 damage, 13 attack, 3 damage for those last 2 clicks with the Flurry. Pretty nuts. If she just takes like a 3 damage hit and lands there, she is going to hit you hard right back. And yeah, I mean, 30 or 40 points, especially the 40-point dial, they're cheap. They offer something for the team. And for those reasons, they're coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Ultra Chase Peggy from Captain America and the Avengers. Now, technically, this is a version of Peggy as Captain America, but, you know, still, she's a captain. She has super soldier powers. Basically the same thing. We don't really have a lot of versions of Captain Carter for this list, okay? So she's going to count for this one. So starting us off with her trait here, it says the first time each game Peggy Carter would be KO'd, instead turn her to her last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal her equal to half the result, protected pulse wave. So she's got a built-in, saving her own life once per game there. Then you have this awesome trait, Sideline Active. When a friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers of 50 points or more is KO'd by an opponent's attack, you may place Peggy Carter from your sideline into that square on her blue starting line, then deal her damage equal to the final amount of damage taken by that character minus the damage he was clicked. The excess damage, in a sense. So we'll take a look at her dial in a second, but since she also has a trait that says when Peggy Carter starts the game, generate a Becky Barnes bystander. So taking a look at her dial here, so there's her blue line. So if you have a friendly Captain America or Steve Rogers that's 50 or more points when he's KO'd, you would take the amount of damage he was clicked, add any of the extra damage that he would have taken, and give it to her when you bring her in. So hopefully it's no more than 1 damage because her toughness would get rid of that 1 damage. But yeah, you get to start with an 8 movement charge, 11 attack with precision, 18 toughness, 3 damage leadership. For 50 points, not bad. And you get the Becky Barnes bystander as well whenever she starts the game. So even bringing her in on the sideline counts. And she's also got 8 movement sidestep, 11 attack, 4 range, 18 combat reflexes, and 2 damage with close combat expert. So, sidestep, hit somebody 12 for 3. You got a 20 up close. Pretty deadly in close combat there with that Becky Barnes. But then for 75 points, she's got 9 movement charge, 12 attack precision, 19 with defend, and 4 damage with leadership. So not too shabby at all for her 75-point line. I prefer the 75-point line if I'm going to actually play her on the map. But I feel like most of the time I use her, I just throw her on the sideline whenever I'm playing a Captain America. And the Living Legend trait does come in handy too. So even if you bring her in, and she takes a couple clicks or something, she could die and then she could come back on her last one and heal like all the way back up to top potentially, and have to kill her all over again, which is great because, they already had to put in the work to kill the Captain America. And now they have to put in all that extra work to KO the Peggy Carter as well. So she's great. She's good on the map or on the sideline. She can save herself. She comes in with an awesome token. And she's just a really awesome version of the character. So for all those reasons, she's coming in at number 3. All right, coming in at number 2, we have the new super rare one from Disney Plus. So she has the awesome, superhero landing pose. Gotta love that. Now, this one was very, very close contender for the number 1 spot for me. Really had a hard time with this one. Chose to put her at number 2, but she also can start the game with Captain Carter's shield equipped, which, same thing we saw earlier there, the shield. And, of course, it gives you the defend, and if they can already use it, then adjacent characters, friendly characters get +1 defense as well. So, not too shabby, and it does definitely come in handy with her. She has traded defend, and then a unique modifier, where non-adjacent friendly characters within range modify defense +1, which is amazing, because that's just, she's got like 6 range. So that's a 6 range, just +1 defense for all non-adjacent friendly characters. And anybody that is adjacent is just getting defended with a +1 from the shield. So she definitely helps keep your entire team's defense way up. And the cool thing is that non-adjacent friendly characters within range get +1 defense. She technically is never adjacent to herself, and she is a friendly character within range still, so she can give herself +1 defense just from her own trait. So in case you didn't already know that, that is amazing, and that's one of the main reasons, this whole trait is one of the main reasons that she was almost number 1, just for that. But then she's got Giant Reach of 6, Quake. When Captain Carter knocks back an opposing character, she may choose the direction of the knockback. That also is insanely good. So taking a look at her dial here, she's 95 or 55 points, but that's always really going to be 100 or 60 points because you're always going to give her the shield for the 5 points. She's got shield team ability as well. So I actually really like playing her at the full 100 points. She's got 12 charge, 12 attack with that Giant Reach 6 Quake, that can, choose the direction of the knockback on everything she hits. And then she's got a 19 defense, or really a 20 defense for herself and everybody adjacent to her, and a +1 defense for everything within 6 squares for your friendlies. You also have +1 for range with the shield team ability and the leadership for, taking tokens off of people as well. So she is like literally one of the best leaders in the game. As long as everything's adjacent to her, they're going to have a 20 defense and +1 range, and potentially you could leadership tokens off of them as well. Crazy stuff, honestly. And then you've got, for 60 points, you can still charge, 11 attack, super quake, everything around 18 defense or 19 defense is still really solid for 60 points. Defending everything to a 19, giving everybody +1 within, the 6 squares, the shield TA, the leadership. It's all still really good. You just basically get -2 movement, -1 attack, -1 defense, -1 damage. So a 60-point line is really great as well. I just love pushing it to crazy numbers with the 20 defense. But yeah, really, really solid on either point line. Really awesome figure. She's definitely put in a ton of work for me. I wish I played her more, as my only complaint is I haven't played her enough to really have some more fun with her. But very close contender for number 1, like I said. But for all those reasons, she's coming in at number 2. All right, as always, before we get to the number 1, we have some honorable mentions. You guys maybe thought I wouldn't have them this time, but I did, because we got 2 versions of Peggy Carter, just regular Peggy Carter, to take a look at here. I thought it was important. Now, first of all, from the Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. set, we have the Prime Peggy Carter. She's great. You've got Howling Commandos, past S.H.I.E.L.D. Soldier Spy keywords, improved movement for hindering, which doesn't matter anymore, but it was nice to have back then. Trait that says if Peggy Carter is closer to an opponent's starting area than she is to her own, she can use stealth and shape change, which is pretty nice. You just have to get like that 1 square over the line. There's kind of like that middle line. You find that, you just go 1 square over, so you're just 1 square closer to theirs, and she'll get that stealth and shape change. 60 points, shield team ability. Main reason I really like her is this damage power that says, at the beginning of your turn, choose a standard power or team ability. Opposing characters within 3 squares of Peggy Carter can't use it until your next turn. So that is another reason to kind of go a little further than that halfway point if you need to, or at least to get her out that far anyway, is because you want to get her close enough to the action to be within 3 of your opponent's characters to just pick a power they just can't use. I mean, it doesn't sound that crazy, but it really is. You just choose a standard power or a team ability, and every opposing character within 3 squares of her can't use it. So if your opponent has a lot of characters with invulnerability, just say invuln. Now nobody can use invulnerability within 3 squares of her. You could also choose stealth, because this doesn't need line of fire or anything. So you could turn off a ton of characters' stealth. You could say flurry, so they can't just all flurry you to death, poison, whatever. Lots of really, really good options for that. And taking a quick look at her dial too, she's pretty decent there. You got 8 movement, running shot, 10 attack with energy explosion, 17 super senses, 3 damage, 6 range. You get some sidestep after that, some blades, some charge combat reflexes. So yeah, not too shabby. she can definitely get in there and get some damage in. The shield team ability helps out your friendlies, and you also get that stealth and shape change, don't forget. And you gotta love that turning off power is very, very good. Then this other Peggy Carter, using the same sculpt years later in the Captain America and the Avengers set, just different colors. She's just wearing black and gray this time instead of green. But this Peggy Carter has a trait that gives her stealth and improved targeting for hindering, which is awesome. You've got sidestep, and characters can't draw a line of fire to Peggy Carter unless she is adjacent to another character. And then at the beginning of your turn, you can deal her 1 unavoidable damage. That's just to get off of this first click if you want to get onto her good stuff here, because then, she basically can't be targeted unless somebody's adjacent to her for that first click, and so you can just kind of run around and super stealth and incap things and outwit stuff, and then choose the right moment to deal her 1 unavoidable. Then you get that running shot, 11 attack, precision, 17, they're both 17 combat reflexes, and then 3 damage with outwit. So she can still outwit stuff, but you can actually running shot, precision strike something. Only 40 points. She's pretty good to sneak around and outwit things, and she's hard to, target, because unless somebody actually runs up next to her, they can't target her with anything. But it's not really hard to do. Just move some pawn kind of figure out there to base her, and then shoot her with something else for 4 damage and she dies. But she's really good otherwise, as long as you know when to move around and when to actually turn her to shoot something. But those are my 2 honorable mentions, the 2 regular Peggy Carters in Clicks. So without further ado, you might already know it by now, but let's get to our number 1 pick. All right, leading her way right to the action of the number 1 spot, we have the Prime Captain Carter from Disney+. Disney Plus gave us basically all of our Captain Carters, so that's the only reason we can do this list, but that's awesome anyway, because she's a awesome character, so definitely deserved getting multiple figures in that set. This one is really awesome at both point values, very low point values too. So starting off, she's got Stealth traded, and Captain Carter may start the game with her shield equipped and or the Super Soldier Serum equipped. And she may have both of them equipped at the same time. So we've looked at the shield like 3 times now. Again, it gives you defend, and if you can already use it, you get +1 for your adjacent friendlies as well. And then we also have the Super Soldier Serum, which looks like that, and it gives you willpower, and if you can already use it, then you increase the result of your roll for willpower by +1. Super good. I actually really like this object quite a bit. But anyway, just being able to have both of those equipped at the same time is super nuts. Anytime you can equip more than one object at a time is great. And they snuck in that stealth there too. So don't forget, she also has traded stealth right there. But you also have a trait that when establishing theme teams, characters on your starting force with the soldier or spy keywords gain the shield keyword. So you can cheat a shield theme team with soldier and spy if you need to. That's always nice. Gotta love keyword cheaters. Then you have Invincible and Willpower as her special defense power. And again, she's gonna get +1 defense, or +1 to the roll for willpower. And then on her damage power, she's got Enhancement and Leadership. And when Captain Carter uses it and succeeds, once this turn, a friendly character that has the shield team ability may use it as free. So she's got a lot of stuff going on there. Let's take a look at her dial here. So she's got Avengers Initiative, so she can see through hindering, as well as the shield team ability to give adjacent friendlies that +1 to range, and potentially taking a power action to +1 somebody's damage for a ranged attack. 6 range triple target is nuts. So for 75, she's got 10 movement with running shot, 12 attack, precision strike, 19 defense, and 4 damage with both of her specials. So that's the Invincible Willpower and the Enhancement and Leadership. So yeah, pretty nuts there. And don't forget, she'll have the shield equipped so she can defend to a 19. She got Enhancement and Leadership and shield team ability for all the friendlies next to her, and she's just quite a beast. I mean, 12 attack precision strike with triple target that can see through hindering is no joke. And then for only 35 points. She's got running shot with 11 attack, precision strike, 18 with defend, and that's going to be, you know, +1 from the shield, so it'll be 19 for everybody next to her. And then you've got 3 damage again with the enhancement leadership combo. And for this one, you know, running shotting, triple targeting, you know, seeing through hindering, precision striking, that's totally useful too. But also for the only 35 points, you have to remember, that's very low points. You could give, if you have like a really, really high character with like a lot more damage potential, you could use her enhancement. If you roll her leadership, you could get to use Shield TA as free, or just use it as a power action, because whatever. So enhancement and another +1 from the Shield TA. She could give somebody +2 damage for ranged attacks, which is pretty nuts for only 35 points. As well as defending them to a 19, you know, and potentially just removing tokens from them with leadership. So just, you know, carrying her around with some really big, strong character is great. Or again, you know, just at 75 points, she's a beast herself. 12 attack, 4 damage. And you got the invincible willpower, so she can keep willpowering off herself and leadershiping off of people. And, you know, and don't forget, she's got stealth too. The whole time she's got stealth. She's got so much going on, so many different powers, so many different ways to help your team or to just be a monster of an attacker. She's just so good at either 75 or 35 points. And yeah, so she's got a lot going on, like I said. Great at both point values. So for all those reasons, she's coming in at number 1. Alright, you guys, so that does it for another top 5 list. As always, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed it. It does help me out a lot. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Captain Carter is, as well as nominate a character for a future top 5 list. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, make sure to check the links in the description for our Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get your name here in the credits, as well as get entered to win our monthly Patreon giveaways. So as always, a huge thank you to all of our patrons, but that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.